I am Jasmine Thompson and I am recording this video for my cultural immersion project. My topic of choice is studying Mexican American people. The reason is because I've grown up around Mexican Americans, but I don't think I really know them culturally personally. I mean, I don't know their culture on a more personal level. I've recently become more fascinated with Mexican culture and how it's been a big influence in American history. When researching Mexican milestones, I didn't realize how long Mexican labor has been around, and it's been around since the 1900s. Even sadder that I realized that a lot of prejudice against Mexican Americans have been around for a long time and still hold on to this day. And in some ways, when I read this history, that I can find ways that we can fight prejudices that still linger to this, and that we can help people emphasize pride for their own heritage. It also made me, so in my findings, I found out about how big the Chicano movement was, and that it wasn't only about Cesar Chavez. I was really fascinated how many Mexican Americans who made their stride to make their people gain rights they had been denied. From what I found out, that Mexican Americans had been in California denied basic rights like schooling and stuff, which is actually the subject of my book that I chose. It's called Burro Genius, and it's by this guy called Villaseñor, who is this great Mexican American writer who grew up in prejudiced times and, even worse, had a disability that put him more at a disadvantage. It really showed me how the old school system of teaching left out children of color and made them outcast. I hope that when I am teaching, I can make an environment that is inviting and doesn't put people down because of their heritage. Because too many in history, we've seen how a prejudiced system can really restrict others and keep them from what they could really be. For my film of choice for this project, I chose something interesting. I chose Like Water for Chocolate, which is the story of a woman named Tita who is forced to take care of her controlling mother due to a toxic tradition, and she expresses herself through cooking and also carries on an affair with the boy she wanted to marry, but he had to instead marry her sister. The film really gives a lot of emphasis on deconstructing a lot of Mexican traditions, like women's roles, like how they were supposed to be chaste and very, very obedient towards authority. It also showed how cooking wasn't part of Mexican culture, and it really was a very inspiring movie that used magical realism to bring its themes to life. Also, when interviewing for her about the Mexican experience, I interviewed a woman named Adina Serrano, who's a social worker who comes from parents who were undocumented workers and grew up in a family of 4 with her as the oldest. And today she's living with her husband and 3 children. When I interviewed her, she really was open and she really liked me talking about her heritage. When I interviewed her, she really emphasized how she identified herself as a Chicano, and she really emphasized how she wanted to bring her traditions to her children, and is currently teaching them all they can about their heritage, which is why they are enrolled in things like Mexican folklore classes, which means Mexican folk dance, which is where I went to for the cultural immersion event for the part of the project. There I was greeted very warmly, and they didn't mind that I was an outsider. And it was created for Mexican American children to learn more about their cultural heritage and to keep a simple tradition like dance alive. I also noticed that when I was there, some of them did speak Spanish, but they also spoke English. It really showed how a lot can be bilingual, which is something to consider when you're around them. When I was seeing them dance, it was very enchanting. I watched how the mariachi music came on, and I watched the children dance until they took break. It was something really enchanting, and I really hope I can see it again when they go to the Garlic Festival. Overall, I think this cultural immersion project